front of us, you can see that our craftsman, he's beginning our piece. So he has taken a large amount of crystal which he has collected from the back of the furnace using a billet. It's a predetermined amount of crystal for our larger items. He's now using the wooden tools, so the beechwood tools. You can see now why they don't last that long. They do burn through. So he's just giving the piece its initial shape, and this is all before it goes into the mould. As soon as the molten crystal hits the air, it does begin to solidify. So in a moment you'll see our craftsman, he'll utilise one of our portable furnaces to actually soften the piece just a small bit. And that will make it easier to shape. So there he is, putting the molten crystal back into the furnace. And as I mentioned, when it comes back out, you'll see that it is just a little bit softer. And again, that will make it easier then to mould. So there's our piece coming back out. And the craftsman will continue shaping. So it's only when the craftsman is happy with the initial shape that he's achieved with the piece will he actually use a mould. And it is a cast iron mould, so we know now that it's just an everyday production item that we're making. If we saw a wooden mould, then we would know it could be a commission or a trophy. So he lowers the molten crystal into the cast iron mould, and by blowing into the blowing rod, it creates the hollow in the centre of the piece. So it's very similar to the action of blowing up a balloon, but obviously it is a lot harder to do than that. And twisting the blowing rod, it evenly distributes the molten crystal in the mould. Now at the moment you can see that there is an exposed amount of crystal that's not covered by the mould itself. It's like an excess gathering, and that's known as the cap. And that entire portion that we can see that's visible to us will be sawn off in the next department. The only reason it's there now is to allow for the blowing rod to stick onto the piece itself. And every piece at this stage will have a cap. When our piece comes out, what you'll notice is that it does have quite an orange glow, but that's not the colour. It's simply because of how hot the piece is. It's still very, very hot. And the craftsman will pass it down to the trainee on ground level, and it'll undergo its first inspection. Now, if at any stage your piece actually fails the inspection, it goes back into the furnace and it's melted down. But if it passes the inspection, it has to be cooled in a very large cooling oven. And we have to do this gradually. We can't just cool it down straight away. It will crack. So we have to do it over about 8 to 12 hours, gradually bringing it down from a high temperature to room temperature. And we use a kiln, which is on the right. So all the pieces that we make today, they won't come back out of the kiln until tomorrow. And another piece will begin in a few moments up on the platform. So I'll give you a few moments now just to have a look yourselves. As I said, we're going to see whether or not the piece on this rotating wheel on ground level will pass or fail. And again, you can use your cameras.